back from it because the point of it was to get douche nozzles like yourself to have this conversation in the first place.
Please, boy, you was not playing 4D chess. Your ass was on some tic-tac-toe shit. Stop. And this is what crushed Rollo for he's destiny is haunting him every night because, you know what I'm saying? Drop a like, leave a comment, let me know you're in here. We finna have fun tonight. Good, y'all, back with another one. So today we're going to look at new video that just dropped by DaDonOzzy. He has been pumping out some decent little long form documentaries about different characters on YouTube, and today we're going to look at his new one on Rollo Tomassi. Now, his history goes so far back, I can't even explain how deep that rabbit hole goes. Just know he's crowned the godfather of the red pill or the manosphere. I think the manosphere, they call him the godfather of the manosphere, but he's also the biggest low-cal boomer of the manosphere. The man is like in his 50s, and he's still trying to live out his glory days on YouTube. And he's just as of lately, been getting dunked on a lot, just getting exposed as a racist, getting exposed as a simp, getting exposed as a liar, and a gossip girl. All these things are quite verifiable. So let's see how DaDonOzzy did on his new breakdown of Rollo.
Rollo Tomassi is known as the godfather of the red pill. Anyone familiar with the red pill and not Rollo can probably guess what kind of person the guy who apparently created the whole ideology is. Even if you were to take a guess as to how disgraceful this guy is, you'd probably be accurate, but you could never guess how deep this all goes. Rollo Tomassi, real name George Miller, was born in 1969 and is 55 years old. His age and date of birth will be relevant the entire video, so please hold on to that. Rollo first got his notoriety in the red pill in 2013 with his first book, The Rational Male. The first time he was ever referred to as the godfather of the manosphere was by bootleg Steve Wilkos, episode 23 of
Bootleg Steve Wilkos
on Rollo's channel.
My name is Pat Campbell, radio talk show host from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I am joined by the godfather of the manosphere, the high priest himself, Mr. Rollo Tomassi.
Little did Rollo know how much he would grow to regret this term. It was around this time that he created what is known as the Bible of the Red Pill, as we discussed before. All the knowledge that this wise sage imparted onto the red pill masses is contained inside the sacred book. Knowledge such as outdated studies and pseudoscience that has no source besides trust me bro or it appeared to me in a dream. Interestingly,
I've never read that book and I never will. But I'm not surprised. You know, Myron's always talking about the rational male. And Rollo's always trying to pump this book, the rational male, the rational male. And it's funny because I'm hoping DaDonOzzy read it, or at least read some of it. And he said it's a bunch of pseudoscience. And that doesn't surprise me because Rollo doesn't base anything that he spews in any facts or reality or something you can verify. He's had plenty of debates with people about this stuff, and it's never like fact-based, and if it is, he contorts the facts to fit his narrative.
enough, at this time, Rollo Tomassi was a small fry in the ocean, and no one really cared about his books. And there wasn't really any platform for him to sell it on besides Return of Kings, which was like a blog for men, and all the other blogs that he wrote on. And this fact largely stayed the same
Amazon
for a
at
number of
least.
years. It was common even at the time to see his predecessors outperform him. To this day, that's a commonality for Rollo. Just take a look at Fresh and Fit, Just Pearly Things, Andrew Tate. They all used the red pill, but Rollo created it. He was instrumental for it. He was one of the founding fathers.
And that's the thing too. He's one of the oldest ones, and even if you want to throw in Kevin Samuels, literally, I don't even know if he has like 500,000 subs. I don't even know if he has 100,000. I'll probably find it and post it, but it's not going well for him as far as numbers on YouTube.
And Rollo does not take that kindly.
Which I don't know if DaDonOzzy will touch on that, but it's definitely proven by the fact that every time he gets in some types of beef with somebody, it's like, come on my show. Come on my show. We can talk about it. Come to Vegas. Come to Vegas. And it's like, bro, nobody coming to your dink ass show. Like, they don't want to because they're probably bigger than you. So he's always trying to get people to come to his platform to get more views on his platform, but nobody wants to go to his platform because it's so it's dying.
at all. More on that later. But for now, the point is, Rollo created this whole thing and never really got anywhere with it. That is, until Fresh and Fit popped up on the scene. For more context, prior to his alliance with Fresh and Fit, he would accuse everyone of stealing his work and not crediting him, or reading his book and not crediting him. Newsflash, grandpa of the manosphere, but you didn't really create the manosphere. Rather, you were just instrumental with the first few ideas. And just like most people haven't read the works of Shakespeare, yet we follow his literary creations and even use words he first made popular today, 99% of these red pillars haven't read your book. The red pill just confirmed the biases they already had, and that's all they needed. But to Rollo, the only reasonable explanation is that they're maliciously stealing his ideas, so much so that if anyone even mentions an idea that may have been vaguely mentioned in one of his books, he plays a sound effect from Breaking Bad of Walter saying, "Say my name."
Say my name.
What point are you just gonna,
Say my name.
really?
Dude, just like say my name, please. I mean, really?
Say my name.
Sometimes he will actually
That's
just say
pathetic.
my name, but the point is that he thinks he's being stolen from and not given the praise he deserves as the Grand Wizard of the Manosphere. Even going as far as to have a portion of his outro dedicated to whispering, "Don't steal my stuff," in the middle of the song. I'm not gonna play it because there's copyrighted music behind it, and if we've learned anything from the Saint and the Sinner video, it's that red pill guys will use any method to silence criticism. You'll have to take my word for it, or you can sit through one of his mind-numbingly boring streams and listen to the outro he does like every other video. It's ridiculous. Nevertheless, once Myron Gaines and his podcast found success, luckily for Rollo, Myron was one of the people who both read Rollo's books and was successful in YouTube. So to Myron, Rollo was like having his childhood hero on the podcast. So he had him on all the time. He was finally getting the respect he felt he deserved in his mind. Myron even going as far as to shout him out whenever anything remotely close to Rollo's ideas were mentioned. I don't know what it is with the red pill, but they can make any good thing a bad thing. Myron's kind of known for being loyal, and to me that's one of the best virtues a person could have. It ceases to be a virtue when you're loyal to.
I think it's funny how Myron only admires loyalty just like Trump, and they both are so loyal to a fault that they like reject people that want to hold them accountable. Anybody that wants to hold them accountable, it's like, no, fuck you, you're not loyal, you're not loyal, you're not loyal. And then they both do goofy ass shit and expect everybody to just be like, well, I'm loyal to you. Like is actually quite funny to pit them two together.
Obvious scammers, liars, and charlatans. He perverts loyalty into meaning blindly agreeing and defending your friends and following anything your friends say, even if you know it's false and everyone else knows it's false. That isn't loyalty, that's stupidity. But it's because of this loyalty he continually lended his platform and clout to someone who's largely irrelevant and boring. Like seriously, this is one of the most painful people to research. Not just because their streams are so long, because they're filled with nonsense. Straight schizo ramblings half the time.
Tell me in a sentence who you are. I'm a boxcar and a jug of wine. And a straight razor if you get too close to me.
By the end of the video, you gain nothing. Every one of his 4-hour live streams could easily have been 30 minutes, no more. There is no beneficial ideas or new perspectives being gained from 4 hours of talking, even for a red pillar.
Patriarchy is a much more balanced system than gynocentrism, feminism, or androcentrism. People think that patriarchy is androcentrism. No, it's not androcentrism. Okay, there's a difference between patriarchy, androcentrism, matriarchy, and gynocentrism. Gynocentrism is all authority and no responsibility.
That's not just me saying it. The general red pill consensus is that he's worthless as
Donovan Sharp and Rollo Tomassi are just not convincing at all. What a bunch of bozos. You should watch or listen to his 4-hour rant, guaranteed to push you into clinical depression. Exposed, Rollo Tomassi is the godfather of nothing, stole all his work on a form repeating the academic work of David Buss. Myron's loyalty to him will be his undoing. When Donovan started getting I'm young and dumb tattoos, mixing up multiple styles at his 50s, that was a major red flag. Never trust an old man trying to be young. Plus, he's not lost that same 60 pounds he was supposed to lose in 2019. Rollo seems like the typical suburban man who did all the right things but likes hanging around his edgy childhood friends. The red pill is just an outlet for Rollo to spend time doing something. Realistically, Rollo doesn't take what he does home to his wife or daughter. Rollo famously said, I would never let my daughter date Tate or Myron. When I heard that, I knew dude was doing this out of boredom. The RP is just a Sunday night football for Rollo. That's
so
a
much
good
so
assessment.
that when I was suggested
that
to
was
do
a
this
good
guy,
assessment.
and trust me, there were so many people begging me to do this guy. I just didn't want to do it because he's so goddamn boring. That and the fact that Brittany Venti did an excellent takedown on Rollo.
Oh yeah, this is where it really kicked off. Brittany Venti got him together for real.
Thought there really wasn't much to talk about, but in light of recent events, which got me to do my own digging and suffering through hours of the schizo posting that is this guy's live streams, I realized we've only really scratched the surface with this guy. Once Fresh and Fit arrived to the scene, Rollo finally got the notoriety he's been wanting all these years. You see, Rollo Tomassi didn't just see himself as a founder of a pseudoscience. He sees himself on the same level as Jordan Peterson, a fighter for his ideals. On the same level as Robert Greene, who's a timeless author who created a best-selling book. And with his new influx of clout, that dream of his became all the more tangible.
He needs to show him saying these things.
He did. In between calling anyone who even as much as utters the word hypergamy or really anything in relation to women a plagiarist.
I wouldn't want somebody to plagiarize my work. I wouldn't want somebody to claim
he's never said nothing unique.
Stolen valor. He's plagiarizing my work and then I'm plagiarizing his work. So technically I'm plagiarizing myself. I'm at the point right now where I get accused of plagiarizing myself. I
don't think Rollo has ever had a unique idea. Talking about plagiarizing myself.
My plagiarizers lift this line from me once again.
He would be shilling his book constantly. And when I say constantly, I truly mean it.
And by the way, if you don't have my book, why don't you have my book? Please read my books. Hope you can read my book at some point. Intellectually lethargic. You don't have
I think there's nothing wrong with him promoting his book. It's his book. He got to promote it.
Yeah, the discipline to actually go and read my books. Have you read my book? Well, no. Well, then you. If you want to go read my book, in the car somewhere.
I'm talking every live stream, every podcast appearance, every tweet, he'd link his book. He'd even cite his own book in arguments. Imagine writing an essay and for your works cited, you just wrote me. It's clear that Rollo's goal isn't to change lives or save the world or save men. It's to feel like some sort of wise sage and be worshipped by men. Brittany Venti in her video of Rollo made a great point, and that's that people who are actually in it to help people and not just elevate themselves don't go around talking about it and basking in the fact that they're allegedly saving lives.
Okay, bro, call us degenerates. I don't care, but we're saving guys from themselves. Put out like RP type content, right? I'm helping men become better. You know, the bad and the good. Like, hey, you know what? If we're saving guys' lives out here, we're bringing on guests like Tommy. It can add some value to you as well.
Was through this book and
we've all read
that
your book.
Work. Yep. So, and you know, it's been responsible for literally saving guys' lives.
Yes.
And I don't take that lightly. I have had guys come up to me at certain conventions and
I just think it's weird that all these guys be like, yeah, got me saving guys. There's be so many people that'll come to me and be like, you saved me from killing myself. It's like, bro, shut the fuck up. I don't even believe them when they say it, to be honest.
I flew all the way out here from Arizona or wherever to shake your hand and tell you that I was going to kill myself.
The truth is, 99% of us are providing entertainment. Most you could say about my videos personally is that I'm helping you avoid these frauds to the internet, and even that's debatable. Far be it from me to even think I'm saving lives. Same goes for Rollo. You wrote a book, bro. These are your stream titles. The good book itself says pride goes before destruction and a haughty spirit before the fall. Rollo could have used a few verses before the next part. With his lust for notoriety came an extreme amount of jealousy. Rollo is a lot like low tier God. He wears his emotions on his sleeve, and just like low tier God, they're both of an advanced age, and especially being on the internet, probably should have dealt with that beforehand. But the emotion Rollo seems to struggle with the most is jealousy. For instance, one of Rollo's greatest enemies is Jordan Peterson, and by association, Michaela Peterson. And by greatest enemies, I mean harasses Michaela in lieu of being able to get the attention of Jordan Peterson. Why do you ask? Because Jordan Peterson is an older white gentleman that men look up to. But he's not good enough. It should be the Grand Wizard of the Manosphere going on all these shows and not Peterson. It should be Rollo's book being recommended and not Peterson. Look at his Twitter, for example. These are just a few of the tweets that he sends to him or that are regarding him. It's scarily obsessive and pretty sad considering this is someone's grandpa behaving this way. And worse yet, he brings him up constantly in live streams too.
Jordan Peterson, Dr. Jordan Peterson.
And I don't think Jordan Peterson has ever spoke on this man at any point in time. I could be wrong, but yeah.
Dr. Jordan Peterson.
Juxtapose this with the fact that Jordan Peterson has said his name a total of 0 times. You seriously see?
Knew it. I'm like, I don't think Jordan has ever spoken on this man ever.
Actually, just a fan. And it's because of this, he drops slanderous videos on Michaela Peterson in the hopes he can grab onto some of that beloved clout from her. He also did the same thing with DJ Academics. Surprisingly enough, DJ Academics and FNF are good friends. And obviously, FNF did the smart thing and tried to capitalize on the platform that Academics built up. So they did this through controversy. Academics helped Fresh and Fit get an interview with Brittany Renner, who was all the craze back then, especially in that community. Naturally, FNF looked like clowns, and they were the laughingstock of the internet once again. But that's all besides the point. The goal was to have FNF in people's mouths. No Diddy, but that's exactly what happened. Rollo saw this and saw a couple of things. One, his golden boys that were supposed to take him to the public eye have found someone else to collab with, and worse yet, he's black. This will make much more sense later on. Stay tuned. He also saw the fact that FNF were seriously outshining him, getting serious mainstream attention and notoriety that he obviously felt should be given to him. I mean, come on, the guy wrote a book. He should be viral by now. So of course, Rollo creates a live stream in which he says Academics is trying to snake you. And after Academics caught wind of this, he seems to have made the same assessment I did.
Only thing he got to show for is 2 guitars. If he had the boss power and the influence and the talent like me, he would have took Fresh and Fit. And while it was still like young pups with their paws, their claws not even sharpened, he would have said, let me bring y'all to the promised land before y'all even could fight to get there. But he couldn't do nothing. He just left on the sideline like a bozo. Hey, I think this guy is not in your best interest. Shut up.
I hope he touches on why he said, I missed this train. I knew Academics didn't like Rollo, but I don't know the reason for why he would have said that. He had to have a reasoning behind saying that. And knowing Rollo, he probably just made some shit up that sounded like it could make sense to a dumb person.
The most ironic thing is Rollo ended up being the snake. There's countless videos on the FNF subreddit showcasing the backbiting specialist that Rollo Tomassi is.
I 100% agree with you. In fact, I've been saying this since the beginning of this year, because this is the year that everybody abandons the red pill. They already have. Myron and Fresh have abandoned the red pill, or more or less abandoned the red pill. Okay. That's on them. If that's a business decision, it's all business. Okay, well, fine. Willing to listen to that. Okay. But when you're hosting people like Destiny, and you're hosting people like Nick, and you're hosting people who are obvious and proven political operatives right now, you are now complicit.
There's no proven anything that Destiny is a political operative. It's honestly kind of bad. He really harps on this Destiny is a political operative shit when there's no proof of it besides Destiny bests him every time they have a conversation. Destiny makes him look like a fucking idiot.
In what happened yesterday.
He's always taking slick, not so slick shots at FNF, even going as far as to say that FNF played a part in causing the guy to try and hit the 45th president with a bullet train. Don't think too hard about the connection, because I don't think anyone sees it but him. Anytime he can speak about FNF recently, it all seems to be negative. To be charitable to him, if you can call it that, you could say he's doing it because he sees how much of a brand risk FNF is, and he wants to be separated from them. But taking into account all of his prior actions, I'd bet he's just sick and tired of FNF being the face of the red pill instead of him. I mean, can you blame him? They're pretty bad ambassadors. The only thing is, so is he. It's funny. Once again, Marvin's loyalty works against him because he's shilling a book for a guy who doesn't respect him as a person and would usurp him if given even the slightest of chance.
And guys,
you spelled it right too.
Rational Mail Book 4 is out, guys. Shameless plug for my man Rollo. And you can get the first one, which I recommend every man read so you don't get finessed. Okay.
So yeah, obviously the Rational Mail book series, I mean, fantastic book series. And you have
the jealousy does not end there, by the way. Rollo is jealous of anyone who even dips their toes in his water. Back when Destiny was making his rounds on all the Red Pill podcasts, he was on FNF multiple times. One of these times was with Sneeko to debate the Red Pill Grandmaster. This debate was one of the...
And this is what crushed Rollo for Destiny is haunting him every night because you could even see it in his face. I hope DaDonOzzy zooms in. Rollo's like, because Sneeko and Destiny was just handing it to him. And Rollo just did not know what to do with himself. He just was so mad. Then when they debated each other, he had to bring Michael Sartain because he doesn't have the intelligence to defend himself. And he needed Michael because Michael is way more intelligent and well-spoken than Rollo. So he needed help to have the debate.
Best things I've ever watched. It's like an episode of Tom and Jerry where Tom and Jerry put aside their differences to fight the common enemy. Let me set the stage. On your left, we have a blue-haired liberal who is in an open relationship. On your right, we have a Muslim red pill conservative. They're teaming up to take on the Grand Wizard. There was a bunch of hype for this debate. Destiny and Rollo have been taking shots at each other constantly leading up to this. And the debate was a spectacular humiliation for Rollo. Rollo literally did everything wrong. It all started when one of his tweets went viral. Yay, I get to show my book in the replies. Not so fast, Grandmaster. Your tweet has 1K likes and 7 million views. Why is that? Oh, it's because you advocated for men to get a vasectomy in their 20s. Needless to say, guys, don't listen to this guy. All these guys I've done videos on really need crisis management teams, or better yet, just admit you were wrong. For some reason, they think doing so...
He really said he was trying to recommend the best way to become a high-value male, and one of his points was get a vasectomy in your 20s. Probably the dumbest thing he could have said. And he was like, and then he had to defend it too. He couldn't back off and be like, well, I should have meant it. But he says, oh, I'm just saying, if you want the quickest, the best route, the foolproof way to do it, that you get a vasectomy. It's like you're not even saying build the ability to decipher good and bad choices in the long term. Rationality, rational male. What's the word? You got to be able to decipher these things. You know what I'm saying? So like you saying get a vasectomy in your 20s mean I want you to be able to get all the pussy in the world, but just make sure you don't get them pregnant. Going around fucking people just because you can't get them pregnant isn't a good strategy either to be a high value male. So I don't even know why he tried to defend it. He should have been like, maybe I shouldn't have put that one. You know, but all these red pill guys, they got way too much of an ego. They can't ever be wrong or proven wrong. He, to this day, I don't think he's ever admitted to being wrong or lying or anything that he's done that's been questionable or been proven to be stupid. He don't care. He just stands on it.
More damaging than getting dressed down in front of thousands of people. But not only could he not admit it, he couldn't even define what a high value male was to begin to even have the conversation.
It's a fact to recognize the fact that you've got sacrifices to make. Okay.
So like what is that? Telling like stories from Vietnam. Like just say, what is a high value man? It's the first part of the tweet. What does that mean?
You tell me what a high value man is.
What do you mean you tell me? You literally wrote down what to do to become one. Now I gotta ask someone else to find out what one is. Right. Destiny summed it up perfectly when he said this.
You guys, the tweet was, you've got some conception of a high value man. Here are 8 points that you think you need to do to get to it. And now you're getting blown the fuck up on the vasectomy thing, which you probably realize is but you're too old and stubborn to walk back from it.
Emphasis on the old and stubborn. Now, my point isn't just to laugh at how bad this guy got cooked, because he got barbecued. And something you guys might have missed.
Look at his face.
See? Stubborn walk back from it because the point of it was to get douche nozzles like yourself to have this conversation in the first place.
Please, boy, you was not playing 4D chess. Your ass was on some tic-tac-toe shit. Stop.
How old are you, bro?
He said, how old are you, bro?
Yes. You guys are idiots. Why do you guys come in here from Twitch stream? Like, how you guys are legitimate in all of this? I don't know, because everything I've heard come out of you guys' mouth is just confident ignorance.
Pay close attention to when he specifically said how you guys are legitimate in this. I don't know. In Rollo Ease, this means why are you guys getting the attention in the red pill that I, as the grandma of the manosphere, deserve? This is what Rollo is really concerned about. Gatekeeping the clout he believes he deserves. I'll let you in on a little secret, sir. No one cares how long you've been doing this. No one cares how many books he wrote. You're not entertaining. No one wants to watch some guy having a late life crisis and relive his glory days. Myron and Fresh are big because their podcast is entertaining. No one watches their Money Mondays for many reasons, but among them being that they're not as entertaining. Destiny is big because he's entertaining. If you want politics, you can watch CNN or read an article or some other political mainstream news. Hell, even Sneeko, he can be entertaining as well. Inconsistent, but entertaining. His fame and followers don't lie. People want to be edutained, not bored to sleep. And hearing the same talking points a million times over is not entertaining. Rollo just can't grasp that, so he lashes out at anyone he deems as lesser than him. He even finishes off the podcast with this.
This is a great debation. Do you have anything to say? Like you
look at his face. Like, you see what I'm saying? He got his head turned, he got his lips perched. He just like, well, I can't do shit but just sit here and look stupid. Like, it's just so pathetic.
Great debation. Where can they find y'all? I mean, they know where to find. We plugged him out.
Go back to Twitch. That's some advice for you. That's some real advice for you guys. You guys have no.
You don't even know what to say. It's like, go back to Twitch. I was supposed to be over here. Everybody was supposed to be listening to me, and now you guys came and ruined everything. Oh, to go back to Twitch. Destiny is banned. Both of them was banned off of Twitch at the point in time.
This is any of this right here. You're not ready to have an adult conversation. Everything
they're not ready to have it, but they asked you what is a high value male, and you saying you're telling them to answer it, and you the one that made the post.
I've seen you chatting more than any other name, and the chats I re-chat like whenever I stream, which is when I'm online, and you're in there more than me.
Go back to Twitch. This is my turf, bucko. This was not the first, nor was it the last time Rollo got publicly humiliated for his own actions, but then, like a teenage girl, turns around and blames the people who are exposing his actions and his folly.
This is why do you run from every single possible debate with me?
The next time this happened is when Brittany Venti and Lauren Southern teamed up to make a fool of Rollo. I don't see that many people talking about this, but I implore you to go ahead and watch Brittany's video. It's
I think that video did numbers, though. It was pretty big. I don't know if he knows because he had to go back, but when that happened, that was big. That was a big deal.
Masterpiece, and I'll try and keep it short as to not take away from the video. But basically, Brittany made a video about the Red Pill cult leader, and I have to call this out first. But Rollo ain't no cult leader. This is a cult leader. Go watch that video for more information. Anyway, after this, Rollo got a series of emails from a mysterious person detailing how bad of a girlfriend Brittany was. Unfortunately for the Grandmaster of the Manosphere, it was an elaborate troll by Brittany just to test the idea that Red Pillers will believe anything, and the test determined that this is true. Rollo took the bait hook, line, and sinker, and couldn't resist airing it out before getting any sort of confirmation. It wasn't just stuff like
so he basically just took information from a random person that it was no real verification of what they were saying. They had Brittany Venti's nudes, and he's like, oh, I got her nudes. And then he basically like told the world on stream, like, so the thing is, you don't know, I actually have Brittany Venti's nudes. Mind you, he never even saw the nudes because they weren't existent. He just trusted this random email he got and said, I have nudes of Brittany, and he didn't.
accusations of Brittany being a gold digger or manipulative. Keep in mind, this is all fake and written by her to trick Rollo. It was heavier stuff. The email claimed to have risque photos of Brittany, and instead of asking for any kind of validation for any of the claims, he just said, hey, can I see those photos? I'm glad Rollo has his priorities straight. Where does Lauren Southern come into all this, you ask? Well, he was bragging that he has some dirt on her, and that she gave birth to a child that is half the streamer Destiny's. You know, the guy who eviscerated him on FNF. Yeah, him. And in typical form, no fact checking, no confirmation, just misinformation. This goofball actually bet $10,000 that it was true, but unfortunately it was just Lauren.
Hi George, I, 30M, work in healthcare admin in Vancouver and have been following you for almost a year now. Your content has made a huge difference in my life personally. I'm divorced and have to pay child support even though they took my kid
this
from
was
me.
so good.
I'm on my way to becoming a high-value
idiot,
male thanks to you and others. I started following you last year after you started exposing the truth about Lauren Southern. She came into the clinic I work at to get an ultrasound. I checked her in myself. I thought she might eventually break the news online, but she never did.
All you have to do with these guys is confirm their bias, and it seems they'll believe anything. I wouldn't trust this guy to give me any information. I don't care how many books he wrote. His honesty and his research just show me his advice is not to be taken seriously. And he even fails the eye test, miserably so. I'm sorry, but I'm not taking your advice regarding women in 2024. This brings us to the most recent controversy surrounding the Grandmaster, and that is his Twitter burner account. Like Kevin Durant before him, Rollo was caught on a burner. The case of KD, it was a big deal because it's KD, but really it was only used to defend himself and say things that would probably be more scrutinized and possibly even lead to a fine if it was said by an official NBA.
I didn't even know that happened with KD.
player. In fact, he later on just embraced the fact that he had a burner and actually started tweeting the same stuff he used to say on the burner on his main account.
We were teammates when you got caught with the burner account. One thing that I love about the burner account is everything that you said on the burner account, you just started to say on Kevin Durant's account. Yeah. Nobody likes a great thing.
But this was not the case for our buddy Rollo here. Oh no, no, no. Not only was Rollo wilding out, simming hard for women him and his friends would be insulting otherwise. Like it was bad. He was doing much, much, much more. It started off when Rollo was dodging some guy's debate named JSTLK. One of his fans was relentlessly asking him to debate him. Rollo dodged and dodged until he got tripped up, and that's where he broke rule number 1 in the burner handbook. And it's always check what account you post on before posting anything. That was the beginning of the end for the irrational male. He tried to quickly
he didn't read it. He didn't read it out loud. I'll read it if y'all not watching.
That was the beginning of the.
So basically, Rollo was arguing with somebody on Twitter about what a successful guy and a loser is. So the guy he was arguing with, the last thing he said was, a successful guy is guys who don't dodge JSTLK, and a loser is cowardly guy who dodges JSTLK in spite of being on X all day, usually named Rollo. So Seattle's Sports Junkie replies after this guy just replied to Rollo, and after that, a Seattle Sports Junkie page replies, first mistake is thinking I am on X all day. Second is thinking I am dodging anything. Third mistake is thinking I take any of this seriously. And Rollo's defense was, that wasn't me.
The end for the irrational male. He tried to quickly delete it, but alas, it was all in vain. The damage had already been done, and Triple Z typed the phrase.
Yeah, and then he tried to delete it too while saying it wasn't him.
mean to reply with your alt. He might as well have typed it's a wrap, because when you dive into the alt, it all but confirms this is him. Before we get into it, I'll just say anything could be true. This really could be a guy named Nigel who supports all the things Rollo does, such as anti-religion, male superiority, Trump, the 80s, the 90s, etc.
Yep, that's the funny thing. A lot of the stuff that page discusses and talked about, like if you read the tweets on that page, it's all kind of things that Rollo talks about.
Also a fan of Rollo and comments and stuff relating to him, and who also types in the same verbiage and uses the same emojis Rollo does. Who knows? I'm just gonna give out the facts and you can decide for yourself. First off, Rollo is clearly using his burner to scratch a very specific itch to keep it clean, but if it ended there, we wouldn't be talking too much. A guy's gotta do what a guy's gotta do. Issue is his other tweets. That boy is a closeted racist and it's obvious. Even saying racist stuff on completely unrelated topics. Like, why are you saying if you're black you'd be on a plantation? Are you that obsessed with black people? Furthermore, is that guy supposed to be offended? Wouldn't he just say, good thing I'm not black? I'll never get it. Rollo after this was really dead to rights. My only question is, how will Myron take this? Actually, scratch that. Myron's already a tap dancer. He's had so many racists on that podcast. It might as well be a weekly clan meeting. The funniest part about this all that I think more people need to talk about is Rollo's damage control. Bro, honestly, I did want to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, the damage control is ridiculous. Erudite says, then why did it respond for him then when called out, delete the comment and block? Rollo says, prove it. Obviously they can't prove this, but it was why did you yeah, and then everybody that was calling Rollo out, Rollo was blocking everybody. So on Rollo's normal page, he's blocking everybody calling him out for his alt getting exposed. And now when Erudite's calling him out, he's prove it. I'll take you to court for defamation, blah 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 blah. And it's like, bro, prove it. That's your defense. Come on.
Damage control. Bro, honestly, I did want to give him the benefit.
The Seattle Sports page said, now you are in on it too. Are you dumb enough to think I am you? You can't make this shit up. And then Rollo says, thank you for confirming you're not my alt account. Like, he's responding to himself. Like, what the fuck is going on here, bro?
The doubt. Not because I think he's better than this. I just didn't want to believe he'd get caught in 4K Ultra HD.
Somebody took some screenshots. They said, I went through his replies and he sure as shit sounds like Rollo. Calling other people beta and telling women things like, you don't make the rules, I do. Sounds like something alpha, like the rational male would say to a woman after getting rejected and called out publicly. And Rollo says, get the fuck out of here. I don't have any alts and Destiny knows it. Prove it or you're a liar. What the fuck Destiny have to do with that? Maybe it was something prior in the conversation. But how can he just say Destiny knows you don't have an alt? Why the fuck would he know if you have an alt or not?
Like this, but all the signs point to this being him, and if it wasn't clear when the reports first came out, his actions after all of that all but confirm it. First of all, he started deleting tweets like crazy. He probably already envisioned the Abba and Preach video of this and started sweating bullets. So he did the very first thing that came to mind, and he thought, I need to hide this. That obviously worked against him, because why would you be deleting tweets off a burner unless you thought you were found out? It's a burner, so you can do things you would normally not do on it. That's kind of the whole point, to not care. After this, he thought the next best thing would be to deny it publicly on his main Twitter, which is fair. I'd probably do the same thing whether I was using a burner or not, but especially if I was innocent, I'd do that too. But what really gave it away is when he hopped on Seattle Sports Junkie and started defending himself with it. I feel like I was watching that one scene in JoJo where the main villain is talking to himself, except it's happening on Twitter. This guy is trying way too hard. He's lashing out, threatening to sue Destiny, Not So Erudite, and Tree, the people who first leaked this, saying, if this is my alt, how am I posting during my show? As if it's some sort of insurmountable question. People in the
right, that's not even enough
saying, if this is my alt, how am I posting during my show? As if it's some sort of insurmountable question. People in the comments
theoretically you can have someone posting those tweets on your alt. Yeah, please don't sue me and I would never commit suicide. You do have a computer right in front of you. You could clearly have a partner in your joy of being a racist. One thing that is clear, the alt has changed their tune, referred to themselves as me, responding to a picture of you, a technology called a smartphone.
Rightfully point out just a few of them.
Yeah, and it's almost as if like he planned it out, like, I got to get some tweets up while I'm doing my show. Like,
in ways he could have done that. At one point, he starts spamming profanities and telling people to.
The proof is in the actions. You tweeted from the wrong account, then Spurg deleted it all and then started running defense. Simple as that. He says, bullshit, prove it, you fucking liar. Cursing at people isn't helping.
Prove it. And it was at that point
like
that I asked myself, well, how would I react if I was in this situation? Some random guy accused me of having an alt that's not me. I'd probably tweet that and maintain that because that's all I can really do. I would not be saying prove it or
Prove
anything.
it. Yeah, he's never even said that's not fucking me, or he didn't DM them or say like, can you like do something to figure out like we need to prove this ain't me because you fucking up my shit.
Along those lines.
He's never called out the person that jumped into the replies on his page. He never got mad at them. He's just mad at people that don't believe him, which obviously they don't believe you.
Wouldn't have deleted anything because I can't. If I was the guy on the burner and someone was accusing me of being Rollo, I would not first delete things and then begin to try and help clear Rollo's name. Hell no, I'm on a burner. I just start trolling. In fact, I am Rollo. What I'm trying to say here is nothing adds up. This is not how an innocent person acts.
Yeah, if they was trying to fuck him up, all they would do is keep doing it. That's it. It's that simple.
I definitely would not start incessantly tweeting more in a few hours than his alt ever did in a day right when he got exposed. Half of which are about how much he isn't Rollo and how unbothered he is. But by the way, this is not Rollo, but he doesn't care. But by the way, this is not Rollo, but he just really doesn't care. The guy can't even keep his story straight and even started saying it was all a plot to destroy him. Look, my biggest takeaway from this is that people are not who they say they are. If my videos teach you anything, it's gotta be that. This is one of the best cases for my point. It's like we just unmasked Rollo in the best of ways. On a greater scale, it goes to show you exactly what some people think of minorities behind closed doors. Can you imagine being a black person like Myron? Okay, maybe not Myron, but any non-tap dancing black man seeing this and owning a copy of his book, who bought a consultation with him, who sent in super chats. Like, the guy's obsessed with the words monkey, slave, and insulting black people in general. The saddest part isn't just that, it's the fact there's countless people who are the exact same way. I actually give credit to them. The big prejudice accounts on X, at least they're getting money for it. They're getting paid to say these terrible things. Rollo isn't getting paid. He's just taking time out of his day to hate people. It really speaks to how sad that old man is. So what do you do with this information and this revelation that might have been inspired in you like it has been in me? Well, as a black man myself, I'll tell you what I'm doing. That's nothing. Rollo is quiet as a church mouse in front of other black creators he's ever been near. Respectful as a saint when talking about black people on his podcast.
But I think we have this impression that black men are black culture, I should say, is the last holdout. This is really something I think that first of all, I'm not really qualified to talk about race when it comes to this kind of stuff. I mean, I could throw it back and forth. But like a good guy to talk to would be like Lucario. I forget what his last name is. Lucario would be a good one. I've been watching his stuff lately. And then also Donovan Sharp's talked about this. There's a lot of guys. Ed Lattimore.
He's not a threat in the real world, like at all. Think about it. All these accounts with Greek statue profile pictures and A10 eyes and we're the superior race. Why have none of them turned out to be strong, chiseled jaw, 6'4", jacked, pure-blooded Germans? Instead, it's a frail twink, a dude with severe CTE and it looks like he could be a descendant of the Habsburg family, and a freaking crypt keeper in Rollo Tomassi. The reason is because people with things going for them, actual accomplishments, actual self-esteem, and actual pride, don't have to put that all into their race, black or white. They don't need to talk about what their ancestors did because they have accomplishments themselves. They don't need to talk about what their forefathers built because they built something to be proud of themselves. And most of all, they don't have time to be harassing people online and thirsting over Twitter models, man. Like, come on, Rollo. Anyways, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want more videos like this. Here's a video of mine that YouTube thinks you'll probably like. And with that being said, peace out, y'all.
Okay. He did it again. He did that. That was a really good, concise video for Rollo. DaDonOzzy has some hour-long docs. Man, if you like that, you should definitely check out his other ones. He does have some longer ones, and that one was only 23 minutes. But he hit on the big stuff with Rollo pretty well. I can't wait for his next one. I've been anticipating his videos because they're well made. They hit all the important points, and he's funny. He's genuinely funny when he makes his jokes. But yeah. So thanks, y'all. If you made it to this point of the video, make sure you leave a like, comment, sub. If not one, then all three. And I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Peace.